Have you ever wondered if one tiny, everyday choice could actually ripple out and change the world for the better? I mean, really change it. What if something as simple as the snack you choose could help build a future that's more sustainable, more fair, and more prosperous for everyone? It sounds a little like science fiction, I know, but that's the very real, very powerful idea we're going to unpack today.
All right, let's dive right in. The core concept here is called Bar Nation, and it's all built around this idea of a new butterfly effect, a new way of creating value. The whole idea is to take visionary capital and intentionally pair it with these one-of-a-kind, irreplaceable assets, like the incredible remote properties you see here. The goal? To spark a massive, positive chain reaction from that one simple connection.
But before we can really appreciate how this new engine works, we have to take a quick look at the old one, the one it's designed to completely replace.
So our world today, it pretty much runs on what you could call siloed value. You've got these three massive forces, right? You have capital, always hunting for growth, but it's often totally detached from the real world. Then you've got real estate, which is all about stability, but man, is it slow to innovate. And of course, there's technology, moving at lightning speed, but it often lacks that real soulful connection to the physical world. They're all just running on these parallel tracks, never really meeting, and all that incredible potential for them to work together, it's just lost.
And this is where ARQ18 comes in and just flips the whole script. It replaces those lonely silos with a symbiotic engine. So on one side, you have this super agile SPAC tech fund, bringing in the smart, strategic capital. And on the other, you have a carefully curated REIT, basically a portfolio of these unique, amazing properties that provide a rock-solid foundation. It's not just about money and buildings. It's about weaving them together to create something so much more powerful than the sum of its parts.
So how does this engine actually start up and run? Well, the mechanics are truly fascinating, and believe it or not, they start with something you would never, ever expect.
Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. How in the world can a simple snack bar be the fuel for an entirely new global economic model? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but the logic behind it is just surprisingly elegant.
Okay, meet the Barnes Miracle Bar. It's a plant-based food bar, but it has this brilliant dual purpose. First, it's about sustainable nourishment for everyone. It's really born from this humanitarian mission to prove that the healthiest food can also be the most accessible. But second, and this is the absolute key, it acts as a kind of barter currency. It's the physical token that kicks this whole economic model into gear.
So how does this actually work in the real world? It's a beautifully simple but incredibly powerful four-step process. They call it the consumer-to-asset flywheel. It all starts when you eat or trade a bar. That one simple action creates demand, which generates capital, and it does it without watering down anyone's ownership. Then, that capital is used to buy real, tangible, productive land. And finally, this is the revolutionary part. The profits from that land flow directly back to the community. Your simple act of consumption literally becomes an act of ownership. And what this does is create a complete, virtuous cycle. A unique asset gets acquired, technology is brought in to make it even better, which delivers a premium experience for people. That in turn increases the asset's value and generates fantastic returns. And what happens to those returns? They're reinvested to get more amazing assets, creating this self-powering loop of shared wealth that just keeps growing.
But look, a great theory is one thing. Putting it to the ultimate test in the real world, well, that's something else entirely, and that is exactly what happened next.
This is the Remote Odyssey. It's an incredible 15-week global journey, and it was designed as a live stress test for this entire economic model. This is where the elegant theory meets some absolutely breathtaking proof.
The journey spans 5 incredible sanctuaries all across the globe, from the wild heart of Patagonia to the forests of Swedish Lapland. And it follows what they call a climate-optimized circuit, which means they are literally chasing perfect weather across the hemispheres to make sure the experience at every single stop is as powerful and amazing as it can possibly be.
And just to be clear, this isn't tourism. It's deep, meaningful immersion. One moment, you're on a remote Patagonian ranch learning to respect the ways of the wild. The next, you're literally watching the aurora borealis dance across the sky from a glass-walled treehouse in the Arctic. It's all about redefining luxury, not as just fancy stuff, but as a profound, genuine connection to the natural world.
But the Odyssey isn't just a trip. No, the ultimate goal here is to build a lasting, global network dedicated to well-being.
Each of these amazing remote locations is being transformed into what's called a cool zone, the
The best way to think of them is like the next generation of blue zones. You know, those places where people live the longest, healthiest lives? These are self-sustaining sanctuary communities designed specifically for healing, for life extension, and for what's called high-efficiency luxury living.
Now you're probably wondering, how do you manage a complex global network like this and do it ethically and efficiently? Well, the answer is GENII. It's an advanced AI that acts as the master gardener for the entire ecosystem, making sure everything grows in a healthy, balanced, and sustainable way.
Gemini is really different from other AIs you hear about. It operates on a core do-no-harm philosophy, which means every single decision is designed to be human-centric. It doesn't just analyze what happened, it actually prescribes solutions. It creates guaranteed roadmaps for success and intelligently designs the absolute best path forward to get rid of waste and maximize the value that comes back to the community.
And this all leads to the ultimate outcome, a thesis where everybody wins. It's a win-win-win-win. The partnership gets fantastic de-risk returns. The physical assets, the land, are preserved and appreciated for the long term. The guest has a meaningful, life-changing experience, and the world feels that positive ripple effect on local economies and the environment. It's a system that's built from the ground up for everyone to succeed together. So let's bring this all together with this one last, powerful metaphor that I think really captures the heart and soul of this entire vision. Because in this system, your participation is something fundamentally different. It is not just consumption, where your money is just spent and gone. It's ownership. Every single interaction you have builds your personal stake in this collective pool of assets. The absolute best way to think about it is captured right here in this final idea. Everyone who participated doesn't just have a bottle of wine. They own a deed to the entire global vineyard. It's a vision where our small, daily actions cultivate a world of shared ownership, of shared abundance. It is a new butterfly effect born from a simple choice, rippling outwards into a future that we can all truly be grateful for.